What if one of the most technically gifted guitarists in rock history became famous not because he followed the rules, but because he quietly ignored them? Joe Satriani's playing sounds effortless, but behind those soaring melodies and incredible techniques is a story of relentless experimentation, patience, and an unusual approach to music. What made him choose a different path from so many guitar heroes of his generation? And why did his greatest contribution to guitar become much bigger than his own recordings? Welcome to Core Frontier, where we uncover the stories behind the musicians who changed the way we hear music. Joe Satriani's journey began in Westbury, New York, where he developed a fascination with the guitar while still young. His early inspiration came from legendary musicians, but instead of simply copying their styles, Satriani became obsessed with understanding what made their playing expressive. He studied technique, harmony, rhythm, and phrasing, gradually building a musical vocabulary that allowed him to make the guitar sound almost like another voice. But that wasn't the full story. Before becoming a celebrated recording artist, Satriani spent years teaching guitar. That experience became one of the most important parts of his development. Teaching forced him to break complicated ideas into simple concepts, and it also exposed him to different ways musicians learn and think. Among the students influenced by his teaching were future stars such as Steve Vai and Kirk Hammett. Satriani was not simply becoming a better guitarist, he was helping shape the next generation. Then came a defining moment. His breakthrough album Surfing with the Alien introduced millions of listeners to an instrumental guitarist who could create memorable songs without relying on a singer. Tracks built around melody, atmosphere, and remarkable technique showed that instrumental rock could be accessible as well as technically impressive. Few people noticed what this led to. Satriani's influence continued far beyond his own albums. His work with Chickenfoot and his participation in the G3 concert series placed him alongside some of the world's most respected guitarists. But perhaps his greatest achievement was proving that technical ability and emotional songwriting didn't have to compete. A complicated guitar part could still have a memorable melody. A fast passage could still serve the story of a song. That philosophy became central to his legacy. Satriani never needed to turn every performance into a display of speed. Instead, he treated technique as a tool for expression. His bends, vibrato, harmonics, effects, and unusual sounds were all part of a larger musical language. Looking back, the lesser-known side of Joe Satriani's story isn't about scandal or controversy. It's about the enormous amount of discipline behind music that can sound effortless. His journey shows that extraordinary musicianship is often built quietly, through years of practice, teaching, experimentation, and patience. Today, his influence can be heard in countless guitarists who learned that instrumental music could be emotional, memorable, and powerful without fitting into traditional formulas. Joe Satriani didn't simply demonstrate what a guitar could do. He expanded the possibilities of what a guitar could communicate. And perhaps that is the most fascinating part of his legacy. Behind every seemingly effortless note is a lifetime of curiosity, preparation, and creative exploration. That is what made Joe Satriani different, and why his music continues to inspire guitarists around the world. If you enjoyed this journey through Joe Satriani's story, subscribe to Core Frontier for more cinematic documentaries about the musicians who changed music forever.